What is up, everybody? It is me, Eli, again, and welcome back to another episode of Eli's Thoughts. And today, I actually happen to bring around a guest, my good old friend, David Sampson.
Who's that? Who's David? He sounds cool.
No. In actuality, I brought Tommy Wiseau back.
Oh, hi, everybody. I'm Tommy Wiseau. I eat cornflakes out of the box, huh? But no. Hello, people of YouTube. You may remember me from some of Eli's other videos. And now I am on Eli's Thoughts.
And with that said and done, we are not here to talk about the characters that David has played, but instead, we are going to give our condolences and thoughts to a series that presumably is going to end soon with its upcoming 9th season, and that show is My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic.
Ah, yes. mlp.mov. What more can you say about this show that hasn't been said already? It's gained a cult following.
Cult following.
Good one. Yeah, it's gained quite the following. You know, little kids are loving it. It's just become a worldwide phenomenon. And after 10 years and with a 9th season underway, it is coming to a close. I can confirm that Friendship is Magic is coming to an end. And funny story how I found out about this. You want to tell them, or should I?
I forget entirely, but...
Well, you found out first. I was in Orlando, Florida at Universal Studios. I was swimming with my friend at the hotel, and Eli calls me up. And you told me that a show that you had a strong connection with is coming to an end. And I was like, really? What show? And you told me My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. And I'm like, holy crap.
Yep.
I looked it up, and it turns out it's true. You know, Eli and I, we both saw the trailer. And...
Okay.
No, I would say that's a pretty accurate representation of the brony fandom right now.
Yeah. Like, in all seriousness, we are so saddened that this is what the final season is going to be. In a good way, because, like, now Princess Celestia, spoilers, but by the way, is retiring, and she's giving Twilight her position. And, oh, man.
Yeah, not just Twilight. I think all 6 of them.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I haven't seen the show in, like, 2 to 3 years at this point, but even now, I'm just like, no. Oh my god, this is beautiful.
Yeah, and I should probably mention that, and Eli, you can quote me on this, but I used to be a hardcore brony.
Oh,
well, not hardcore, like I wouldn't dress up and go to BronyCon. But yeah, I used to be a really big fan of the show, and yes, I kind of strayed away from it in recent years because I've gotten introduced to new things like Star versus the Forces of Evil.
Steven Universe as well. I think I got a little more into that myself.
Yeah, just like other shows came out, and I still kept up with Friendship is Magic when it was most convenient for me. But still, it wasn't as prominent in my life as it was when I was 13. That's when I was like a huge...
Yeah,
I had the brony shirt.
Yes,
remember that?
I think so, but not sure. But like, as for me, I wasn't even on the same level of David in terms of being a brony. I was just a moderate brony. Like, I watched the cartoon and that was it, because, I enjoyed it and whatnot. And, I've been following some of Lauren Faust's stuff, like the DC Superhero Girls. I cannot wait to check that out.
Lauren Faust made that?
Yeah.
Holy shit balls.
Anyway, but I do remember really enjoying it. And, like, here's the thing. If you would have told me that there was a legitimately enjoyable rendition of My Little Pony back when I was like 11 or so, I would have been like, ew, no, My Little Pony. Or hell, if you told me that several years ago, in fact, last decade, if I were 19 back in the last decade, I would have been like, yeah, right. But no, Lauren Faust and all the people behind the show found a way to make a product that's mainly for a very acquired taste and find a way to make it be executed by general audiences to expand the people who enjoy it.
Yeah, that's what I found so appealing about the show. It had cute characters and interesting story arc. And I think that's what separates it from the other My Little Pony shows from like the 80s.
Oh yeah,
early 2000s.
those don't even hold a fucking candle.
No, they don't. Like this one, I think is going to be remembered as the definitive My Little Pony for generations to come.
Right, and like as a result, we got a lot more reboots of shows back in the day that have been getting a lot more acclaim, like Voltron, She-Ra, a bunch of other samples.
Yeah, and I just want to say that there's this great video online called My Little South Park, where it's an animation of the South Park kids, where they all watch the show. At first, they're like, "Isn't that for little girls? How come it's on my recommended list?" And they watch it, and they're just mesmerized. Like they're just like, "That's how I became a brony."
I was gonna say
it's pretty accurate. And at first, Cartman's like, "Oh, unicorns, huh? That sounds pretty gay." But as soon as he watches it, he's like, "Oh, this kicks ass." And that's like the moral of the video, because he sneaks into BronyCon with the help of Timmy while Stan, Kyle, and Kenny are there. And when he gets revealed, he's like, "Yeah, I love My Little Pony." It's great.
And I just want to say, one thing that's even more ironic, like, we praised the Pony.mov series by Hot Diggity Diva, even though it's fucking dark as shit.
Oh, yeah.
But like, what's so funny about that is that, although it was allegedly made to piss off the fandom, in reality, it actually brought the fandom together, and it grew a bigger audience.
Ashley Ball even quoted a line from it.
I was gonna say, like...
Yeah.
Forget you, I can eat all these apples.
Yeah.
Anyway, as we were saying, I'm going to be honest, when I saw the first 5 to 6 seasons of the show, I may not have enjoyed all of it, but from what I did enjoy, I was just very impressed that I got to relate to these characters, sympathize with them, and just find them overall very memorable. Like, to this very day, my favorite ponies will always be Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy. Those two will always be my favorite.
Don't forget Rainbow Dash, swag.
Well, that's the one you find the most relatable, I imagine.
Yeah, Rainbow Dash. I mean, I love them all, but like Rainbow Dash, Twilight even.
They're all good peeps at the end of the day. But yeah. I think, and like, it's just so great to see how each episode would like not only teach kids a valuable lesson, but like they would also like execute it in a very creative fashion, and how they would even reform antagonists into well-minded and very woke, I should say, people.
Yeah,
Like,
and that was, even back then, that was a problem I had with season 1. Like, every episode would end with, "Dear Princess Celestia, today I learned blah blah blah." And I was just like, oh, is this gonna be the end of every episode now? Just them going, "In case you didn't get the lesson, here's what it is." But season 2, the season 2 opener, I think, was dedicated to letting the audience know, like, okay, we're not gonna do that now. That's formulaic. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to let the lessons come naturally.
You're right. Especially, I'm pretty sure down to the point where, wasn't the season 6 of finale when Queen Chrysalis's army actually got reformed into better people?
Yes, but
that
not
was
Chrysalis herself.
Right, no, she's still evil, but like
Yeah.
that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, and did she ever make a comeback after that?
I don't know. Well, like I said, I think I stopped watching the show after season 6.
Yeah, me too.
And Dave and I already mentioned this, but just to clarify, we didn't stop watching it because we were like, oh my god, this is garbage, I can't watch this anymore. It's just, we moved on to other stuff. But I will say this, if it weren't for Friendship is Magic, I wouldn't have given other shows that I would have otherwise said and not for me a chance.
Agree. I couldn't have put it any better myself. Hell, I probably would not have gotten into Star versus the Forces of Evil if I had not gotten into Friendship is Magic first.
Yeah, and like, it goes to show, it doesn't matter who your target audience is or what the content is, as long as you're able to execute it in a way that can be enjoyed by anybody, not everybody, but anybody, then you did something great.
Yeah.
I really look forward to that Owl House show by Dana Terrace in the future.
Yeah, and it's going to be really interesting how they wrap things up with this last season. Especially now that it looks like the main 6 are going to become every brony's worst fear, alicorns. They evolve. Which I don't think is a bad thing. Like, I think them just deciding, like, okay, we had a good run, it's time to bring things to a close, is a great idea, because I think the whole finale will teach kids how to deal with change, because that's just a part of life, and I think it's really great that they're doing that. And the Generation 5 onward, it can be garbage,
It might. We don't know.
Yeah, if it's just as good as Friendship is Magic, great. If it's not, whatever. We still have Friendship is Magic to enjoy for years to come. But I was thinking, before we started recording, maybe Generation 5 can be a continuation instead of a reboot like Friendship is Magic was.
I was going to say, it could be a continuation, it could not be, but if it were, they could probably, not even focus on the main 6 anymore, they can just focus on other characters. Make a spin-off of freaking Derpy Hooves. I know her name is Muffins, but no, she'll always be Derpy.
It's Derpy.
It's always Derpy. Shut up,
Derpy.
soccer moms.
Yes. God. That's not the first time a character in cartoon has had cross eyes before. Jesus. They can have the main 6 appear, but just not focus on new characters starting Generation 5. It'll be really interesting to see where they go from here onwards. And it looks like King Sombra is going to be the final conflict they deal with before the show ends, which I guess I'm okay with that. King Sombra, he didn't really have an interesting story when he appeared, and it was either season 2 or season 3, and his whole motivation just... He wasn't even a character. He was just this black storm cloud that took the form of an evil-looking horse thing.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so he's not my first choice for the main big bad. It would be Queen Chrysalis, actually. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, at this point, we're just playing it but by years.
Yeah, but, I'm glad they're not stretching it out longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, that's another thing. I initially, this was just a thought, but I initially thought that Friendship is Magic would only last 6 seasons, and part of that was because Lauren Faust's husband, Craig McCracken, 2 of the shows he created only lasted 6 seasons. And I think also it's okay, I enjoy this series, it's very sweet, it's very good, but how much longer are you going to keep it up? And admittedly, I think they may have stretched it a bit too long. In fact, wasn't one of the seasons related to school?
Yes. One of the more recent seasons. And if any part of Friendship is Magic made me go, really, that's the best you could do, it's that.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're kind of straying away from that.
Yeah, good.
Okay, people didn't really have the best response to that.
But yeah, the fact that they're going to end it at the very least with this season, it makes me wonder if they actually knew when to end it off. They just weren't sure when, but now they finally figured it out. It's not like some shows where the creator says, oh, don't worry, I know how to end this, and yet they just keep going and going and going and going and going and going. But going back to Friendship is Magic, yeah, I mean, what else can we say at this point? The legacy of the show will always live on. It's just like Steven Hillenburg's passing and Stan Lee's passing and the end of Adventure Time and regular show. Even if those things will no longer be here with us, the legacy will always, and I mean always, stay.
Definitely.
And like I said, Friendship is Magic proved that you can execute a cartoon mainly for girls and then nobody else, and actually execute it for other people.
Yeah, and Eli, I had the same concern you had back when I was a fan of the show. Because I knew even back then, My Little Pony, it's not like SpongeBob or any other cartoons where it's this one thing, no matter how many reboots, even though SpongeBob didn't get rebooted, but you know what I'm talking about. No matter how many reboots or do-overs it goes through, it's always about that one character. My Little Pony's not like that. It changes up, with each different generation. It's always something different. And I always thought, how long will this last until they have to change it up again? But I think at the end of the day, they'll make the right decision. I mean, if I were in charge, I would make it a continuation and just focus. Make them alicorns, have them rule Equestria, focus on new characters.
And they'll rule them with an iron fist. Or in this case, iron hoof.
They probably won't do that, but...
No.
That'll be one for Hot Diggity Demon to do.
Well, he's pretty much taking care of that as it is.
Oh, yeah. But it's still on there for any animators on YouTube.
Oh, boy. Anyway.
But yeah, Friendship is Magic. He had a good run. And can't wait to see how this all ends. It better be good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We want a good finale. I'm not saying make it as strong as the season 5 finale of Steven Universe or even as soul-crushing as the regular show finale, but just make it appropriate. Make it
Yeah.
appropriate for all the fans throughout the world who have fallen in love with the show.
Actually, we were talking about this when Eli first called me and informed me of this news. If they could potentially kill any characters off, like how...
It's going to be Derpy, isn't it?
No! No!
I'm going to sacrifice myself for you!
The fan base would go ape shit. But, no, I mean, like, one of the main six, like... How could they pull that off with... I mean, kids are going to be scarred either way.
They could do it with Rainbow Dash, potentially.
Yeah. But they'd have to do it, like, off-screen. Like, maybe a jump cut to a few years or something like that.
Remember me.
Yeah. But that'd be ballsy if they did that.
That would be so fucking dope.
Yeah, it would be awesome. It would traumatize kids for life. But, hey, the kids shows need to do that more.
Oh yeah, keep in mind guys, the best kid shows are the ones that actually take fucking risks. And we grew up with some shows that actually did that and pulled it off very well.
Yeah, and it makes the story more intriguing. But yeah, I guess that's about all we have to say on the matter.
Yeah.
Friendship is magic. We salute you. You turned this brand that people kind of overlooked except for little girls. And it's now, I would consider it part of mainstream media with how popular it is. Like,
Yeah.
by God.
No matter what anybody says, even if the video is going to be bombarded with thousands of dislikes and comments from anti-bronies who are just going to tell us to go piss off, regardless of all that, what you cannot deny is that this show brought a lot of people together.
Oh yeah, it has made a huge impact, more than anything with the My Little Pony brand ever has before.
The only impact that the My Little Pony movie from 1986 left was a poor stain at the box office. Well, then again, the MLP FIM movie didn't do too well either. But I mean,
Yeah,
there's more quality control there.
Yeah, definitely, but even still, it was okay.
Why was it PG though?
Good question.
Why are most kids' movies PG these days?
I know! This movie, Inside Out, those are G!
They are
G!
If Secret of Nim can get a G rating, then why can't the MLP movie? Okay, we're getting off topic. This is something for another day. But yeah, overall, Lauren Faust, or hell, if anybody who's ever worked on MLP FIM, even Tara Strong, if any of y'all are watching this, I just want to say this right now. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for making a lot of childhoods and for also making a lot of people gravitate to a cartoon series that they might not have done otherwise if you people had not put your best foot forward.
Yeah, and just making them happy. Like us two, for example. Just making them happy.
I watched those seasons back when I was in high school, and I'm not even going to get into fucking high school, but but yeah, one of the best things I can say about my time in high school is that show got me through some pretty meh times.
Oh, I can relate.
Oh, yeah.
I can relate.
And I'm always somebody who tries his best to be optimistic and happy no matter what. And to see a show like this that can resonate to a lot of people in that way, it does speak to me a lot. I'm not saying I want all shows to be like that. There should be a good balance. But to have a show like this that's able to pull that off in flying colors, that's wonderful.
Yeah, just the fact that this show managed to make all these people of all ages and all genders just so happy, myself included, like through, Eli, like you said, some pretty meh times. Yeah. Because I remember when I first got into that show, life was not all rainbows and butterflies.
No, I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, this show just, it reminds you that you're sane.
And it
that
also,
you're not the only one.
And it also reminds us that, like as Don Bluth put it, we have the hard times so that we can appreciate the easier times.
Oh yeah, it makes you humble, makes you appreciate the hard times, because the good will always circle around.
Oh, absolutely.
If there's one thing that this show showed us, it's that the good always circles around.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Lauren Faust, Megan McCarthy, Tara Strong, Ashley Ball, Tabitha St. Germain, everyone, let's give them a round of applause. Bravo.
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 Bravissimo.
Bravo. As Pops would say, jolly good show.
Oh, Pops. You know what? I would be even more ecstatic if they actually got James Baxter to animate one part in the last episode. That would be so fucking dope. He did it for a regular show. He did it for Adventure Time. Well, not the finale, but he did it for Steven Universe. He can do it for this.
Yeah, I'd be down. Honestly, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, but we will miss it. We will miss
definitely
the
gonna miss
adventures
it.
of the main six and their escapades of learning about friendship. But, as we already said, the legacy it has left behind will be forever cherished.
Amen, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
Oh, yeah.
Put her there.
So MLP, Friendship is Magic, good run.
Good run, baby. Good run. So with all that said and done, what do you guys think about MLP FIM possibly ending? Are you sad that it's over, but you're still happy to see this final season? Are you finally glad that it's over? Did you react the way we did?
The end is gone.
They were so young.
They still are.
Comment below, let us know, and until next time, catch you guys on the flip side.
Peace, guys.